Doomsday 3.
We're in Doomsday 1.
No question in my mind.
He came from one of the toughest areas of Phoenix. Most of his friends,
You got people on the TV talking about it. You better get your ass to the ball. You better get to the ball. Okay.
I just got to say, when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, well,
Different.
For sure, and they would have thrown it off because
This guy gets on you.
Mother and then I go to bed every night like. G-Man, I promise you that. We got a special. What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here, waiting on Jimmy Dee. He's having some, what we like to call in the business, technical difficulties. You understand what I'm saying? So before he gets things figured out, if he ever does, make sure if you could just tune it in, hit that subscribe, hit the like, share with Cowboys Nation, share with your friends, share with the enemies, share it with the haters, whatever you got to do, because we love some haters too. So it just makes the world go round. So anyway, I appreciate it. Had a great time on Sunday morning. Those who like to get up, it wasn't that early, maybe a little early for you guys, but it wasn't too early for me to hang with me for a little while, man. Had a great time. What's up, Cuts? What's up, Steven? What's up, Bugsy? We're getting this Cowboys Cave tailgate party. You know, we're getting it kicked off, and I wanted to share a couple things that I got going, because I know people say I got to quit spending money on my team. Well, you all can kiss my ass, because I'm going to spend my money how I feel. But I go ahead and get me a jersey every year. So in the mail, I got I'm going to be repping some Ferguson. Got me some Ferguson. Going to be repping in the this season. Got the white one. But I always like a throwback. I did. I think it was either Troy Aikman last year and then Emmitt Smith the year before. But I had to show some love because this is the kind of mindset that we're going to need with this team. Is we're going to need to get a little big nasty. So I went ahead and got me a Gogan throwback jersey. So that's the old school I'm representing, and we're going to have a good time. So Cowboys Nation, you guys better get ready. And Jimmy, I hope you're ready, coming in here late. I know the Knicks lost. I know you're disappointed. I know all this kind of stuff, but pull yourself together. I did it after the Packers embarrassment. You could do it after that.
Well, first of all, can you hear me? Is everything okay?
Can you hear me, boy? I can hear you good.
Yes.
I can hear you good.
No, you know what? I tell you what. First of all, I had to get my our original producer in here to straighten things out, and I'm going to straighten him out when I'm done. But anyway, so
set me up for failure.
Exactly.
Put a little salt on the wound after that. And I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. Were you guys, supposed to win? Was it a major upset for you guys? I mean, you tell me.
Well, first of all, Steven, Cuts, Camel Piper, Doug, what's up? Cuts, what's up? Bugsy, nice to see you guys. Okay, so we'll start talking.
Look at Ultra showing you. Ultra, the guy who just loves to rip your heart out, and he's one of those guys, when you're down, he wants to turn that knife in and finish you off. He's showing a little bit of grace, a little bit of sympathy. This can't be the Ultra that I know and love.
You know what? Because I got to say, Ultra, he says it like it is. I know sometimes he pisses people off, but he says what he feels, and he's right.
That's right. I love that about him. I do love it.
Okay, so let's start. Look at. We were missing Bogdanovich. We were missing Mitchell Robinson. I sat here a couple weeks ago and said, with Mitchell Robinson and OG, we got them on lockdown. We lost both of them basically for the entire series, with the exception of like the first game. OG tried to play yesterday, 5 minutes, looked like a mess, right? Bogdanovich, we had lost for the entire day. It was just a complete disaster. Alec Burke. Josh Hart missed a game and a half. Alec Burke. And look, I'm not going to make excuses, but, we lost our best six man. And I'm not going to count Randall because he was out since January. But then we had two other starters who were out. So how are you going to overcome that? Indiana brought their A game yesterday, so I'm not going to say they didn't.
They did. I was like, I'm sitting there watching the game, and I like to bet a little bit just for fun. I'm not a big better, but I'll throw $20, $30, just to make it interesting. And I almost was going to put money on the Knicks, but I'm like, man, I just don't know. They're in, I know they had a couple injuries, and I just, then they had I saw Stephen A. Smith out there with Spike Lee, and I could not bet on them. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jimmy, when I saw that, you see that face looking right next to me.
Yes.
I was so happy when they lost, only for them. I felt for you. Make no mistake about it. But
make no mistake about it.
That look on his face, it almost made it worth it. But I did want you guys to win. I'm sincere.
No, and it sucks because, I mean, I think, honestly, you know how it works. The league would have wanted that. They want New York and Boston. They want New York and they probably wanted New York and Dallas. Let's be honest, of the teams that were in it. But, it was tough. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I was spent, part of the weekend in a stupor after that happened. I was on a high when the Rangers took care of our business and closings out against Carolina.
Yes.
Right. And I got to, and we'll get back to the Knicks in a second, but I got to say something about our man, Mark McDonald, who's in here. He's a man of his word. He's an honest man.
Make no mistake about that.
That's the reason my hat's in the mail. He already told me it's arriving at some point this week. And I got to choose the style. I mean,
that's what he did for me.
Yes.
And he sent me tracking information, a confirmation that it's on its way. So he's definitely one of the great ones. I'll be honest with you. One of the nicest people. Like I said, I always tell the story about Mark. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. And when we did our first tailgate, he said, Mike, I'll pick you up at the airport. I'm like, yeah, we'll see what happens. He picked me up at the airport, took me to breakfast, took me to Lowe's to get some supplies for the tailgate, to get everything set up. We went and got a grill. I mean, him and I hung out the whole day until Kelly got in. And I mean, just one of the nicest, most genuine, guys that you'd ever want to meet. So.
No, I'll tell you, about no, he is a great guy.
Yeah, and he has touched his boo. That's true. So I definitely want to put that in there.
So Stephen A. Smith, or Brick, whatever we want to call him, and some people out there know why we call him Brick. Some don't. You know what? I'm not a fan. I don't like him. I think he's a bandwagon. When the Knicks sucked, you never heard from him. When they're playing great, then he's all over it. And he took a lot of heat on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling, and that's fine. If you're going to run your mouth, you got to be able to, take the heat when it's time. But boy, he's getting massacred.
Well, it's good. He deserves it. He deserves it, and that makes it great. But looking at that game, or really even now, you're looking at the finals. I mean, look, you're the basketball expert. You're the resident expert in the cave when it comes to this. But looking at this match, it's got to be. Is this a pretty big mismatch? I mean, the Celtics. I mean,
okay. Let me. I do want to take one step. I'm going to get there in a second. I want to take one step back because you're talking about betting. So this guy I know, he puts down 500 through the advice of his brother. He doesn't really watch too much basketball. Through the advice of his brother, puts down $500 on the Knicks for Game 7, knowing he didn't know. His brother said, "Oh, it's a lock." I guess his brother missed the injury report, so I said, "Oh, what a dummy." $500 out the window just like that. Where's Uncle Cheech when you need him?
That's
straight. So anyway,
I didn't even look at the line on that, but there was somebody, I don't know who it was. They didn't listen to Uncle Cheech either, but they bet $545,000 on Tyson Fury. We'll get into that a little later too. And that didn't help. So be careful when you bet. Now I bet $20. I bet $15. I bet $30. I'm a casual bettor. It's for entertainment purposes only, because if you're not a fan, you got to have some skin in the game, so that it gives you a little skin in the game. So with you guys, I'm like, I was thinking of betting New York, but I was like, man, their injuries, I don't know, and I didn't want to bet on Indiana because then I'd be rooting for them and going against my boy Jimmy, which I couldn't do. So I stayed neutral on the betting, but I was rooting for you guys. It definitely felt for you.
Why, thank you. And you see Ultra saying Celtics in 6. It's kind of tough. Again, Indiana beat a pretty banged up Knicks team. And now look I'm rooting for the Pacers. Now, you know how it is. You want the team that beat your team so you can say, hey, we lost to the champs, right?
Well, Mark's a Celtics fan too. So maybe
Mark's a Celtics fan.
This might be his little, give back because he gave to you. Maybe you find it in your heart to root for the Celtics to get to the finals. Because do you think Indiana has a chance? Do they got a puncher's chance, or they got a legit chance?
No, you know what? I'd have to say Ultra's right. Celtics in 6 or 7. I mean, remember, Indiana was the highest scoring team in the league throughout the regular season, and we played them defensively pretty well. We did get blown out by 30 the one game. Then we turned out and blew them out by 30. And even yesterday, I mean, with all the injuries, the game got within 5 points in the fourth quarter. But then when Brunson got hurt, it was really over at that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking probably Celtics in 6 is my guess. Right.
Yeah.
And then as far as
yeah, you got the Mavs and the T. Well, it's just an odd one, right? Is
it is, yeah. It's look, conventional wisdom says Minnesota, but Luka, Kyrie's actually kept his head on straight. So Dallas, I don't know, man. They might be the team to go, right? But Minnesota's stacked. That's the only thing, right? Minnesota's no joke. And look, they went 7. You know what? They knocked the Joker out.
Yeah.
And he's the best player in the league by far.
That is the thing is again, being a casual basketball fan, what struck me is the teams that you saw in the playoffs. Like, man, didn't they stink? Like T-Wolves, weren't they like a crap team, like a couple years ago? And then like, I think Cleveland was in there and Orlando. And it was like some of these teams, I was like, I couldn't believe it, but I think it's good. I think it's good for the game because you had those same teams. Like I think back to, all right, it was LeBron every year. And then it was the Warriors every year. I'm kind of digging. Yes. This is getting me into the playoffs, and it's just been some fresh faces, some young blood, some new teams. I think it's a good thing for the NBA.
I mean, the Celtics have been around for a few years, but again,
take them aside. I was some of the
right.
other
No, I know what you're saying. Minnesota, yeah, and at the end of the day, look, man, I think that, and actually, I'm taking a lot less heat than I thought I would on this one with the Knicks, and I think people get it, right? We were hurt, but at the end of the day, the league would have wanted that. The league would have wanted the Knicks in there. I mean, it's been 25 years since we've been in the finals, 1999.
Do you want to know something interesting? And I don't want to change the subject, but you said so many years. Do you know who the longest running team is with playoff win drought in the NFL?
No.
All right. Miami Dolphins.
Really? I wouldn't have known that.
Do you know how many years it's been since they won a playoff game?
No.
23 years.
See, it doesn't even feel like that, right?
Law Nation posted this, and there was this. I mean, some of it was astounding, and it just goes back to like Dallas gets a ton of heat, rightfully so, on some of their disappointments in playoffs. But I'm just thinking to myself, it was like there was teams up there 14 years, 15 years. I mean, but Miami Dolphins is like one of the prestige franchises in NFL history. I cannot believe it's been 23 years since someone's got to check that. I can't believe it's true.
No, and that's the thing. I could have sat here and they would have been probably team 26, 27 that I would have guessed.
Yeah, I never would have believed it.
Yeah.
I thought they won last year before. You know what I mean? But then no, they lost. They lost. Yeah, so it's crazy. These droughts, but the Knicks, I was just going back to the Knicks. They've been on a pretty what's they're like, when's the last time they've been to the finals?
Last time in the finals was 99. We lost in 99. We lost in 96, and last time we won, as Ultra was reminding me, was 73. So it's been a minute.
They never won with Patrick Ewing, did they?
No, we didn't win with Patrick Ewing. We went to the lost to Houston. Lost to Houston.
Yes.
John Starks, the 1 for 17 game.
17 game. I mean,
yeah. And then we
got to find that audio. We got to play that prank call. That was a prank call that Jimmy did back in the day. We used to prank call these radio stations. We got to get them prank calls, and we got to put them on some digital stuff, and we got to play them.
Yes, we do. And it's East Side saying everyone's a Mavs fan now. Yeah, coming out of the West, I would say that. Yeah. Right. I mean, but the worst nightmare that the NBA has right now is a Minnesota Indiana finals.
Oh my God.
Right.
It'd probably be a good fight. I mean, I'll tell you this. It's been good basketball. It's been good basketball games. They've been a lot of fun, and it's great. Yeah. Last time 2000.
24 years.
Insane. That's insane. You just never, you don't think about it. I wish I had that. I ought to look it up because I know Law put it on Instagram while we're yapping. I'll look it up real quick because he had put it on there.
Yeah, so no, I agree. I'm thinking, despite what the Pacers did to us, I think it was kind of an easy road. I'm kind of chuckling with Tyrese Halliburton wearing his shirt with Reggie Miller with choke and all this crap.
Oh, I saw that.
Choke. Yeah, we were down 4 players and 5 when you count yesterday. So he can just shut his mouth.
Well, I got it, Jimmy. I got it, Jimmy, and I wish I would have had this on Sunday. I'm kind of mad at myself because I had some dickhead Raiders fan message me making fun of the Cowboy. I posted a video, the one I did Sunday, and then he called the Cowgirls, which of course that's just so original. And then he said we suck. So then he's a Raiders fan. Do you know the second longest streak is? Obviously, I gave it away. The Raiders. You know how many years it's been since they won a playoff game?
Well, I would say what? It's probably about 2002, right?
21 years.
Okay.
Washington Commanders, 18 years.
Washington
Chicago
Redskins?
Bears. Huh?
The Washington Redskins?
Yeah, Redskins. They were the Redskins.
They were. That's right. I'm just trying to make sure we're right.
Chicago Bears, New York Jets, 13 years. Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, and Arizona Cardinals, 8 years. This one surprised me too. Pittsburgh Steelers, 7 years. Atlanta Falcons, 6 years. Then you've got, New England, and one shit since Brady. That's 5 years. And then Chargers are 5 years. Colts. Then you had Vikings, Seahawks, and Titans at 4 years. Saints and Browns at 3 years. You had LA Rams at 2 years, and then obviously everyone else was like a year under. So, but yeah. I mean, the Raiders. I would give the Raiders, even though their fans are assholes. I would give that's a prestigious franchise. How do you 18? The two of the iconic franchises in NFL history have not won a playoff game in almost 20 years.
Yeah, but it gets back to what you were saying before, right? Because you say the Steelers, like it doesn't make sense that it was that long ago. But think about it. It's like you were saying about the NBA teams that were crap. I mean, even the Knicks a few years ago. You take 4 years ago, we were a 500 team, right? This year we won over 50 games.
Well, it came on because I had I put a video out and I put a comment. This one, I mean, and I'll shit on Dallas too. I'll dog us too. Do you know how many games if you watch the show I gave it, how many days has it been since the Cowboys been in a championship game? Just a championship game. 10,532 days. I mean, that is insane to me because teams, you could luck your way. I mean, think about some of those teams, the Panthers that 1 year, or the Jaguars even that 1 year. I mean, teams have lucked their way into a championship game. And it's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. It just makes you one, how hard it is. You know what I mean? You take things for granted. And that's what I was trying to talk about. You take the 90s, you took the 90s for granted. But if you really broke down the 90s Cowboys, it was only 5 years, maybe 6 if you want to really include the end. But it was 5 years of true dominance. And it's over like that. I mean, that's what I think makes New England and really you could throw Kansas City so impressive that they were able to sustain that level of consistency, playoff success, and Super Bowl appearances for that many years. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And that's, again, that's why it kills me that we blew our chance against the, 23. The whole point is we had our chance. All we needed was that one, right?
Yeah. Let me give Ultra some love here because how many days? I'll tell you this: how many days it's been. I was in middle school. I was younger than my kids are today. The last time the Cowboys drafted a quarterback in the first round, you know what I mean? That is crazy. That's crazy too. You think about. I mean, how do you not have a quarterback drafted in the first round? That'd be another interesting stat for them to show. I mean, that's pretty odd because you're looking at over 30 years since they drafted a quarterback in the first round.
So Doug's talking about, we've got to reiterate because he's talking about road trip to Vegas next year. This is a beautiful stadium. Allegiant Stadium is beautiful.
If we're 100% playing there, Doug, count me in. I'm going to bring the whale with me because that way I get some free rooms. I guarantee he's going to give me some free tickets. And Doug was kind enough to hook me up with some extra tickets for the Bucs game. So, Doug, you're on that list. You're going to be on that short list. So we're going to have a good time.
That brings back to the tailgate.
Yes.
September 22nd.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. I know we had somebody else jump in the last couple days.
We've had a lot of people coming in, guys. This tailgate is It's the second annual Cowboys Cave tailgate party. If you guys don't know, you better ask somebody because it's going to be a good time. A lot of people have been already, RSVP and asking what's going on. So it's going to be week 3, Dallas versus Baltimore Ravens. Going to be a big game, Sunday afternoon game. So we're going to be tailgating. Obviously, Cuts is going to be on the pit. Doug confirmed he's working that pit. So we're expecting a big crowd. So we're going to double it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get this thing rolling. Kelly's going to be Jimmy D's RSVP'd. We got celebrities out the wazoo. They're going to be coming in. Maybe some former players stopping by, this and that. And we did get an RSVP. I don't know how happy do you think they're going to be about it? But
we'll find out.
I'm happy about it. Should we find out who RSVP'd?
Yes, we need like a drum roll or something like that.
So
right?
I don't have a drum roll.
Okay,
I don't have a drum roll.
Okay, you guys got to prepare yourselves for this one. Let's see.
But I'm happy, and I'm going to tell
Me
why
too.
I'm happy after we see it. But let's go ahead and get it done. We got an RSVP here. So we got a 49er fan invading our tailgate. Now, I welcome him. I'm going to tell you guys right now, he is welcome with open arms. He's welcome with open arms because I need the 49ers. I want them there because that way they can witness. They witness what's going to be coming because we're going to be going one more time. We're going to get it right. We're going to be going to San Francisco one more time, and this time we're going to get it right. So I want him to see the beating that he's going to be preparing himself for because we're going to be going into San Francisco, handle that business. But I'm excited. And that's what I said. This tailgate's for everybody. As long as we can talk smack, have a good time. It's all in fun, man. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun. And like I said, I see Camo Piper often. He's a really good guy. He'll he can take it and dish it out. And it's kind of funny with how you presented it, that, it's kind of a prelude.
Yes.
An exercise, if you will.
We might have some more drop videos like this of people that have confirmed that are going to be there. But, we got a long way to go. And so many people have asked, and hey, you just got to show up. You just got to show up we'll tell you the spot as we get closer. It's a little tricky, but we plan on being in lot 10. But we're going to try and, reserve a couple, more spots than we did last year because we kind of overtook some of our territory. So we're going to get it worked out. And people ask, hey, how much does it cost? It's free, but that comes with a disclaimer. We will accept donations because we're going to buy beer, we're going to get some liquor, we're going to provide the food and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to make a donation as we get closer, we'll kind of let you know. You can either Venmo a donation, it could be $10, $15, whatever it is. I've already said the money that we've raised throughout the YouTube channel, we're using that towards the tailgate as well. So it's going to be Juarez. I
all right
on that.
So
Where's
what?
Juarez?
And if
What's
they don't
Juarez?
now, you know what? If they don't let us into lot 10, we'll just pull what was his name? Scotty Scheffler, the golfer, and just say we're coming in whether you like it or not. And then end up leaving in handcuffs.
That's the other thing. If you guys are driving to the stadium, some of the best thing. Yep, Steven's birthday, so we're gonna have a good time there. We don't want to be hammered before we get to the game. At least you guys can. I don't want to be hammered before we get in the game. I like to be cool, calm, and collective. I want to be able to know what's going on. But it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. But make sure if you guys, if any of you guys are going, you're thinking about buying a parking pass or anything like that, try and get one for lot 10. That'd be a great spot because obviously that's where we'll be, and then you can actually help because it's very odd. Cowboys tailgating is the worst you'd ever see. That's why it's funny. If you look at that picture, it looks like it's a stadium's empty. People go, there ain't nobody there. Well, They only allow you to tailgate along the edges. So a lot of people don't really show up to parking until later, but all the tailgating is only allowed on the edges. So you got to try and secure your spots. So it's very it's crazy. But it's gonna be a little fun. Look, easy, Bobby. Easy, Bobby. You worry about what you guys got to deal with because you're dealing with the same shit. So we'll see how much talking you guys do.
Says the Eagles fan.
You guys are still losing games.
Ultra's got Bobby the clown has arrived.
I like Bobby. Bobby's respectful.
No, he's cool. It's
I
all
like
trash
having-
talking.
And I feel so bad because Carl has been trying. I've been trying to get Carl back in, but we can't figure out how. Kelly unblocked him. I've been trying to get with Kelly to figure out how to unblock. And I looked in my side, and I don't see that I blocked anyone. So we're gonna have to figure this thing out. So
No. The thing about, and remember, I didn't do the official tailgate, but that was funny when we go to Texas Live, throw some back, and then go to the Miller to the Miller Lite So Cold area there, which is fun.
Totally
but
different.
Yeah, it's a totally different ballgame. But you guys got to remember, at least I have to remain somewhat coherent. I'm sure Mike Tag and Campbell Piper will have to carry me over. But the Falcons are on that night, so that's our nightcap. Sunday night football against the Chiefs. It ain't going to be easy, so I'm going to need some mental support.
We'll end up back at Texas Live. We'll watch that game with anyone who's still surviving. But I tell you what, it's a good time. It's going to be a long weekend, so rest up because it's going to be on, and we better win. Now I'll say this: we need a little knock on wood here. Your boy hasn't seen the Cowboys lose in a long time. I mean, we're going. The last loss I saw was opening. No. Was it opening? Opening night, maybe against Tampa when we lost to Brady.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. It's been a long time. I mean, it's been a long time because I didn't go to the Packer playoff game. Thank God. I probably wouldn't be here today. I'd probably be all my shit would be burning right now. I don't know.
Or you'd be in one of those places you can't call out of.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I tell you what, I don't like talking about that game, but I still feel for my Cowboys nations that actually went to that game, and that's I definitely feel for it. So, anyway.
Hey Curtis, how you doing? Curtis joining in.
What's up, Curtis?
And Bobby and Ultra going back and forth. So,
well, I've gone back and forth with Ultra, and my money's on Ultra. Ultra's good.
Ultra's really good.
He's old school. I mean, you're gonna crack with him. He's gonna hit you back hard. So, I always appreciate that. But I do want an apology. I don't Ultra's if he's here. He said I said something and called me a clown, and I didn't say what he said, and he wasn't listening too good. So he can apologize if he wants. If he feels up to it, he can apologize for accusing me of something that was not true. I went back and just confirmed the tape, but I had witnesses that were in the chat that confirmed exactly what I said. But,
Mike Tag had the evidence. Put the evidence in the car. Valuable
evidence. So let's switch it up just for a minute. Let's talk some. Give us the hockey update because we got hockey's coming up this week. We got the Panthers. We got the Rangers. I don't even know. I've been just focusing on you guys and the Panthers. So we have a friend now who just all of a sudden became this huge Panther fan. I never seen him.
Okay. So I'm really glad that you brought that up because Mike Tag and I have a friend. He's a Chicago fan. Actually, he was at the Bears Cowboys game a couple of years ago. He's the one who couldn't hold his drink. And after that, Bears were getting their asses kicked. He was like this.
Fell asleep with a pretzel on his chest.
Fell asleep with a pretzel on his chest, mustard all over his shirt. Missed
there
his
you
mouth.
go. I love Ultra. That's the way. That's the one that if Ultra, if he makes a mistake, he always, that he's a stand-up guy. That's why I love Ultra.
He's an upstanding citizen of the community.
Sometimes, but he knows I love him.
So the same guy who was slobbering all over himself, who fell asleep while his Bears were getting their asses kicked at AT&T a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, he loves the Bears, he loves the Blackhawks, he loves the Bulls. Those are his teams. All of a sudden, he's on the Panthers bandwagon, tearing into me. Oh, your Knicks suck. You guys lost, and this, that, and what are you going to do when the Panthers whoop your ass? I love all these bandwagon fans. Where was he a few months ago?
Quiet as a mouse.
Exactly. So getting to hockey, and I'm glad he was blowing up my phone with text messages trying to get me. But I said, you know what? I know that we have a platform where a lot of people are watching and listen. I'm gonna get the last laugh. And if he's not such a coward, he should come in right now and make a comment or call in or whatever. But he's a coward. He's afraid. He's afraid.
A coward.
I got
phone lines open. Go ahead, Jim.
Phone line is open. So we had a few comments. Okay, so we got Doug, he's a little bitter after us taking care of our business against Carolina. He said we're gonna be next. We're gonna be going down. Rangers going home in 6. All these haters, Ultra. And you see Ultra Rangers winning the Stanley Cup. You see, I love it. No quit New York. Ultra knows what's up. So here's the thing. So we have, like you said, in the East, we have the Rangers and Panthers. And I've said it. I said it since the playoffs started. The Panthers is the team I fear the most out of anybody in the league, right? They're tough. They're gritty. They can score. They don't mess around. They have a great goaltender. Now, the thing is, Mike, you don't watch too much hockey. We got this guy, this guy, Matt Rempe, right? A young kid. He's 21. He started playing the day that we went to the outdoor game at MetLife Stadium, Rangers and Islanders. And it was his first game, and it was his first fight. The guy's a fan favorite now. He's like 6'7" without skates.
Wow.
And he looks like kind of like a Herman Munster going down the ice because he doesn't skate so gracefully. But the guy will, he'll mix it up. He'll, take care of business when physicality is necessary. So he'll be playing this series.
A variety of damage.
That's right. Damn it. You took the words out of my mouth. So, but yeah, no, you see, Bugsy, he doesn't play dirty. He doesn't. I don't agree with
Jimmy,
that.
I'll answer this one for you because we had our main man Kevin Gogan. He said this. Some people call it playing dirty. I call it playing through the whistle.
Exactly. Thank you. Now you see, Camel Piper, I know is a Rangers fan. They won't let him play, and I have to disagree with that, man. It's just, again, Florida is gritty, and they will throw down. I mean, Matt Tkachuk threw down and beat the hell out of Pasta a couple weeks ago. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So, I mean, that's what you want. I want grit. I want him playing. It ain't going to be all skill. And that's what concerned me a little bit about playing the Panthers. But I think that we're right. We got Ultra, our new Barry Beck. Ultra knows what he's talking about. So anyway, I think we'll beat them. I think it's going to be 7 games. It's not going to be easy. And, you got out of the West, you got the Dallas Stars who took care of their business. I called so far 3 of the 4 NHL finals.
Who's Dallas playing? Who do they play?
The winner of Edmonton or Vancouver.
Oh, that series isn't over yet.
Nope, they got one more game, which I think is tomorrow night. Edmonton whooped that ass on Saturday night. I was kind of banged up that night, but I kind of remember the end. I think it was like 5-1 or 5-2 or something like that. I mean, Dallas, I said it. Jake Ottinger is a goaltender who can carry a team through the playoffs, and I was right. So they got a solid team, and I think that either way, they beat either Edmonton or Vancouver, whoever wins that. All right. Yeah, and there you go. Steven knows what he's talking about. Dallas has Oilers or Canucks. What is this? First period, 3 minutes.
It's going to be, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, Dallas, because they made that comment about the Cowboys because now you got the Dallas Stars in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers, they just won the World Series. The Mavericks got got their work cut out, but they got an opportunity to get to the NBA Finals and potentially win a championship. So you see all these teams. And Dallas, winning this stuff, there's got to be some pressure on the Cowboys. But it's a great time of sports, and a lot of fun playoff games, So
no, it is, and I love this time of the year. And it's funny because I've been watching TV, but whether it's hockey or when there hasn't hockey, obviously basketball, throwing in some baseball, some professional wrestling, depending on what night of the week it is. So it's been nonstop, and it's funny now that it's dwindling down a little bit. It's less and less. So you have the games every night to occupy my time, So
yeah,
I'm getting more time on my hands.
No, that's what the summer's going to be. And then we have getting back to one question on football. You think the Cowboys get an extra defensive tackle or linebacker before training? I think defensive tackle. I'd be shocked if they don't add defensive tackle at some point. Get a little bit more depth in there. Linebacker. I'll be honest. I'm feeling pretty good about their linebacker core. I mean, obviously you're banking on Overshown coming back. That's going to be the wild card if he's back to what we think he could be. I've got a lot of high hopes for him. I think Kendricks is going to be solid. So I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be fine. Clark. I think they're going to be fine at linebacker. I think defensive tackles a thing that they're going to have to really, really address. So.
It's funny because we were talking about everybody's questioning Kirk Cousins and how that's looking. I'm telling you, man, he looked excellent again today. It's crazy. So obviously we don't know how it's going to translate to a game situation, but if you're able to do those reps like that in practice, the Achilles looks good and he's got the weapons. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting. Now, let me ask you one other thing. We'll get back to football, but some people talked about, a little boxing. Calais Campbell would be nice. I would like to see somebody come back from the U. Calais Campbell, I saw somewhere in the chat there.
He's still. I can't believe we didn't sign him yet.
Which one?
Calais Campbell.
No, I don't. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna end up going to another team. Did you watch the boxing match on Saturday?
No.
Okay.
No. We were out of town the weekend, and so
yeah. Well, Fury fought the guy from Ukraine, and I'm going to butcher his name, so I'll just say the guy from Ukraine. And it was. Here's the thing. So it's weird. Boxing's it's bigger. Like most of these fights, remember they used to be in Vegas. Now it's like Saudi Arabia. So the fights are on like in the afternoon, which I like because that way you're watching the main event at like 6 o'clock. Man, you can't ask for anything better. Yeah, Usyk. Did I say it right? Usyk?
Usyk.
Hopefully I said it right. But
you suck. You suck.
Well, here's the thing. There was a 40-pound weight difference. So a lot of people are like, dude, Fury's going to win. So I put $20 on Fury to win and $20 for him to win by decision. So I'm like, and this was before the fight. This was before they even walked out. Because again, it's just a small amount of money to make it interesting. So I picked somebody. And so when they came out, I mean, Fury, he looked like he was just kind of loose and being a little overconfident. Usyk, he meant business. I mean, he meant big. It was like he had a face of stone, right? It looked like Rocky versus Von Drago. I mean, it really did. Like it was that kind of fight, and there was that big of a size difference. It was like 40 pounds, and Fury was kind of joke. He was doing a little head thing, and he was doing this. He was kind of taunting him a little bit, and he won some of the early rounds. But Usyk, he kept business. Well, I think it was like the 8th round. He just beat the shit out of Fury. He hit him. I cannot believe they didn't stop the fight. I was shocked that they didn't stop the fight because he was out on his feet and he was getting his ass whooped. And I thought for sure they're going to stop it. They gave him a standing 8 count. They gave him a standing 8 count, which at least they did that. If they weren't going to stop, at least give him a standing 8 count and see what happens. But he ended up surviving it. It was a close fight. It was only a 1 point. So that knockdown, that was pretty much the difference in the fight. So, Usyk won, and they're going to have a rematch, I think, in October. I think they're going to end up having a rematch. But, yeah, the bell saved him for sure, Bobby had said. But
what about that soundbite? That soundbite from Usyk at the end. I did see that on Twitter when he said, "Yabsib ya, Yabsib ya."
But that's what it looked like, though. That's what it looked like. But it was. I tell you what, man. I like boxing. I like old school boxing more. But you don't get as many good fights in the heavyweight. So now they've got the Tyson Jake Paul fight coming up in July. And it's at AT&T. And so I had a chance to get, advanced seats. Your season ticket holder, you got a seat license. So you know what these seats are going for, man? I cannot believe. Well, I believe it, but I can't believe it. So I'm not, I wasn't going, but I was like, you know what? If I can get them at a decent price, I said I may buy them and, just unload them or give them away or whatever. But ringside seats, just floor seats, were like $7,000 to buy it.
Man,
like 300 level was $400, and I mean, you're not going to see shit. But the press conference was, I mean, I don't know if Mike Tyson's going to, a lot of people say, is this going to be a real fight? Is it going to be kind of an exhibition where they're just going to be little love taps? Would Mike Tyson actually throw the fight? And I'm just going to say this, man, I cannot see Mike Tyson throwing a fight. He's a fighter, and if he gets hit once, he is going to go. I mean, he's going to get back to reality and he's going to be out for blood. So I think it's going to be a real fight. I'm just wondering how it's going to play out. I think the 2-minute rounds is going to help Tyson. I don't think Tyson's going to have the stamina. 58 years old is. I mean, you know how it is, man. You don't have the energy that you used to have. So it's going to be funny. But Tyson was. I mean, he was talking a lot of shit, so it's gonna be good.
I mean, that ain't to say Mike Tyson. I mean, he changed. Some like ordinary people. No, you know what? And the thing you're saying, $7,000 for ringside and probably even the nosebleed. Obviously, AT&T is getting a cut of the action, but
Oh yeah.
between that and the whatever the pay-per-view purchase and all, imagine how much money is being pulled in on this fight. That's insane. Did they say what the purse is?
I think they got guaranteed money. It's a lot of money.
It's just
There's a lot
guaranteed
of
money. Okay.
Yeah.
Jake Paul lives and trains in Puerto Rico. He's going to win the fight. Wrestling ear gear, no biting allowed. Now, wait a minute.
That's the thing. Like people, what I would say with Ultra is people on Jake Paul's a big dude. He's even putting on more weight, but he's a big guy. I mean, Tyson, Tyson's smaller than him. Now Tyson's crazier than him, and Tyson's a professional fighter. I mean, Jake Paul's a professional fighter, but I mean, Tyson is a professional fighter, at the highest level.
Yes.
I mean, Jake Paul's he's fought Nate Diaz, who's a UFC guy. He's fought some washed up has-beens. I mean, Tyson's 58, so you can maybe throw him in that category, I guess. I wouldn't say that to his face. If Mr. Tyson, if you're watching this, I did not say that. I didn't mean it. I don't want to look like the dude on Hangover, but I'm just saying is he's still got it. I mean, he's still going to go out. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how it plays. I'm going to watch it. I mean, I wouldn't pay $7,000, but I'm going to watch it. Kelly doesn't believe that it's real. Is that what he said?
Jake Paul is 0-1 versus real boxers.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's funny because I think Mike Tyson, he made a comment in there. He said, if you don't like what I'm saying, you could turn off your station. You know what? Did you ever go down the rabbit hole listening to Mike Tyson quotes?
Oh, man.
I could all night listen.
He wanted to eat his children and pray to Allah or something like that.
Yeah.
That was after, I forgot what fight that was after.
It was after, which one was it? I forget who he fought. I know somebody in the chat knows.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
But Kelly doesn't think it's going to be a good fight. I don't know if it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. But I think Tyson's just not going to sit there and like the last, like you saw that Paul fight where I think they just kind of like it was Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz didn't do it. Tyson's going to go after him. Now I don't know if he can do that for 3 or 4 rounds. Now they're 2-minute rounds, which is really going to favor Tyson. 2-minute rounds is that's not as much time that you know what I mean. So it's I think Tyson's going out. He's going to go in at him hard, and it's just a matter of if Jake Paul can withstand that fury early. Maybe Tyson starts to slow down, and I mean, Paul has heavy hands. I mean, he's a big dude. If he hits you, you can go down.
Yeah, so. but you know what though? What is it? Paul has the height advantage and the reach. I mean, if I remember correctly, right? So Mike Tyson's going to get in there and go for the body.
Yeah,
right. That's what he's going.
I mean, he's going to go for the body. He's going to get some of them Mike Tyson's punch out uppercuts in there too.
That's right. But Bobby's kind of got a point. Stamina at 58 is a big issue. Does Jake? I mean, they have to make it entertaining. If Jake Paul just is dancing around the ring, making faces and that sort of thing, then people are going to be pissed, right?
Yeah,
he's got to make a fight of it. And again, I think Mike Tyson's a competitor. Like you said, he ain't going out there to throw a fight. But in the same token, Jake Paul, I mean, you can say what you want about him. He's out to win. He's not screwing.
No, he's going to try and win. He's going to try and win. The thing I'd be worried about is like he does his antics. So either he knows kind of the deal or he's crazy because like Tyson, some guy like fuck with Tyson on the plane and he beat the hell out of him on an airplane.
Yes.
Like, he's not the one that you want to play with. I don't know. He's crazy.
No, it's funny because now I'm thinking of that his rant after that one fight. He's not Alexander. I'm the conqueror. My defense is impregnable. I'm going to eat his children. Praise be to Allah. Right? Wasn't that the one? No, it was a different one. My back was broken. Spinal. He's the
I don't know. But then there was some fights where he was just so soft spoken. That's a thing. You just don't know what you're going to get. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not a fan of what Jake has done. Hope Tyson ends this joke. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's bringing attention. It's bringing attention. So, you can't. I don't want to hate on that. And but I agree. I mean, if this fight was 20 years ago, it'd be over in about 20 seconds. Tyson would absolutely murder him. And
Adrian, I did it.
but like there
Spinal.
was someone, but there was someone that said Mike Tyson at his prime would beat Muhammad Ali, and I'm telling you, it wouldn't have happened. It
So you
wouldn't
know
have happened.
better. You're the resident boxing
Well, I'm
expert.
just saying is like Mike Tyson had trouble with big guys. Like if except for really like Larry Holmes, he fought Larry Holmes when Larry Holmes was like 50 years old. If he would have fought Larry Holmes in Larry Holmes's prime, he would have. Tyson's small. Like for some of those guys, I mean, Larry Holmes is a big man. Muhammad Ali was a big dude. I mean, and their jab and the speed and I mean the skill that they had. Tyson had trouble with those guys. I mean, Tyson's a brawler. I mean, even like Bone Crusher Smith, it took him. I think he went the distance with him, and he not even. And he wasn't even a great fighter, but he was big. Lean on him, hold him, kind of wear him down. That's the thing.
Now, I want to know, Steven, when you talk about he came back more humble, like was he training with the Iron Sheik and Iron Sheik made him more humble? Like that's what I need to know.
Yeah.
Kelly,
yeah.
Tyson getting worked by Ali.
Yeah.
Again,
that's not knocking Tyson. I think Tyson's he's one of the best, man. There's no in his prime. I mean, he was one of the best, but he would beat like a Joe Frazier. He was kind of like that kind of fighter. He could probably get him, but like a Larry Holmes, a Muhammad Ali, the top tier guys, and the eras before, I just don't see that he'd be able to do it.
So I don't know. Iron Mike is bad news. I think it'll go at least 9, and Tyson might be in the winner's circle.
Who's he talking about against Ali?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's talking against Ali.
Yeah, not even close. Ali would hit him with so many lefts, he'd be begging for a right. I mean, that's just
Tyson lost 3 of his last 4.
I mean, yeah, but Tyson, you're talking like we don't want to talk about Tyson. I'm talking about Tyson that 18 to whatever before he went to jail, like that kind of era. That's his prime. When he came out of prison, he wasn't the same. Gave him fits. Ali beat him. He beat him. But Frazier's a good fighter, but Ali beat him. Ali beat him. So, and like a Sonny Liston, that was the other guy I was thinking of more. Like a Sonny Liston was in my head. That was more of a Mike Tyson as well. And Mike Tyson had trouble with big guys. He had trouble with those bigger guys. That's just a fact. I mean, go look. I mean, I know he fought Lennox Lewis when Lennox Lewis was, in his prime. Tyson was kind of past his. And then Evander Holyfield, that was Tyson just wasn't right in the head. Like I thought Tyson was better than Holyfield, but then he bit his ear and he did all that kind of
stuff. All the shenanigans and Kelly. Kelly actually, I know that he had mentioned before about basketball. Jimmy, I'm sorry for the Knicks loss, but trolling Stephen A. Smith has been fun.
Yes, that's what I told him, Kelly. Man, that's been the best part about it. That's been the positive part about it. But Kelly was in the NBA Finals. Now, I know Kelly has a vested interest in Dallas winning. I know he has a vested interest in Dallas winning. But I mean, what do you think, Jimmy? What do you got in the finals?
You know what? I'd love to say, I think Boston comes out of the East. I'd love to say Dallas is going to take care of their business. It's going to be Dallas, Boston. But man, Minnesota's tough. They got big guys. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's Dallas, Boston, but really,
I think it's going to be Dallas, Boston. That's that's who I'm rooting for.
If I had to put money down, if I had action on it, it'd be Minnesota.
Minnesota, Boston.
They got Rudy. They got SGA. What's that?
Minnesota, Boston. You're saying
it would be Minnesota, Boston. But I think that Dallas takes them at least 6 games, if not 7.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing great.
They get going, man. They get going. The funny thing, put up Bobby. So did you see the press conference? I mean, this is Mike Tyson because he said that. He's like, he couldn't even knock out Diaz and Silva. He's fighting a real man. He ain't fighting these little kids. He's fighting a real man. Just like,
well, his press conference is really the best. Remember when he was yelling at somebody, "I'm going to make you my bitch."
It's almost, I don't know what his press conference or Andrew Dice Clay on CNN.
CNN was the best. What do you mean? You want to work out or something? I like to
Andrew Dice Clay, CNN. Just go on YouTube.
And the best is when he says it, and you hear "whoa" in the background. Yeah, you guys go on, not right now, but when we're done here, go on YouTube and search Andrew Dice Clay's CNN. It's some of the funniest minute and
Oh
a half,
God.
2 minutes you're ever going to see.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's
Okay,
good.
so we have Curtis saying Boston versus Minnesota. Yeah. I mean, I hope not.
You got to think Boston's coming out of the East. I mean, they got it.
Yes.
They got that set.
I mean, Pacers
Minnesota
again.
is probably the better than Dallas, right? You think they're better than Dallas?
Minnesota has more personnel than Dallas, but I think Dallas.
They got
Dallas is
they got
tough, man.
2 stars that could take over a game. Is that the
That's
better?
right.
Is
Yeah.
that what you're thinking?
Yes, that's what I'm. Yeah.
Okay.
mean,
I don't know.
Luka,
I can name you 2 guys on Dallas, and I couldn't name you 1 on Minnesota. So I'm relying
Luka.
on you for your expertise.
No, Luka and Kyrie, and again, he's keeping his head on straight, which is a miracle in and of itself. So that's the thing. I guess we'll see what happens, man. It's crazy to think that in 2 weeks you're going to have the NBA Finals in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
NHL Finals in 3.
Yeah.
What
do you think? Lively coming on. What do you think that? You said that's kind of made a difference with Dallas too.
Well, I mean, yeah, that goes without saying. But the thing you have to be, Kelly. My thought is Minnesota is big. They're big up front. That's the only. That's what
you got to remember. They're big and they're tall, but they're clumsy.
Hey, Kelly, you got to be in your glory, man. You got the Mavs, you got the Stars. You got a lot going on right now.
Well, I don't know if Kelly's a true fan. Kelly, are you a fan of those teams? Or I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure. I think Kelly might. I mean, I don't know if he follows hockey. I think maybe there's someone who's kind of, maybe making him, a fan, maybe. But I don't know. I don't want to speak for him. But no, for the city of Dallas, anyone who's a fan of these teams, I think for the city of Dallas, there you go. He's 100%. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
I said,
right.
I'm not, I got no dog in the fight. So I would like to see Dallas team win because I think it puts more pressure on the Cowboys to do something to get off this streak that they're on of just not making shit happen. So,
well, Ultra's ripping on Luka, but but to the point, Kelly, and that's what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you were on yet, but you have the Rangers who won, right? Then you have the potential of the Stars and the Mavs being in the respective finals of the leagues, and that's got to be like a kick in the ass to Jerry. Like that's a
kick in the ass. It's a kick in the nuts.
Yes, right, exactly.
It's like that one video. Did you ever see? The video that always comes out there that where the guy, everyone's getting kicked in the balls, like the Chinese karate or something like that. I mean, that's what you feel like. That's what you feel like.
Luka in warm-up drills has a donut in his mouth.
Does he?
Well,
he's a little puffy, right?
My man's getting paid. He's playing great, and think about it. Imagine if you still had Jalen Brunson. I laughed when we signed him, but once he got out of the shadow, Luka took care of his business over here in New York.
Yeah, why did they let him go? Just money?
It was money.
Is he still in it? Heavily involved? The Shark Tank guy, the owner, Cuban?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, he's involved. $20 million a year is what the issue was.
Oh, well,
and I didn't. Hey, look, I'll be the first person and said it on this show. I didn't agree with the signing. I thought they overpaid. Man, I was wrong. I'm glad I eat my words.
Yeah. Well, you admit you're wrong. I'd say that's very important. That's very important to do. But is Cuban remember he used to be in the crowds and I didn't see him much in the crowd. Did I miss him?
He's not as animated as he used to be.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But he's still there.
Sell the team?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
That I don't know about. So Luke can drop 40 with a burger in his mouth.
No, I mean he could. I mean that dude could shoot though,
man. No, he could.
He's a defensive liability, though, isn't he? Is that kind of
not necessarily?
No, pretty good. Okay,
no, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily. No,
it looked like he was moving a little, not as tight on defense. But
Anthony Edwards, averaging 40 versus the Bills. Man, Ultra. See, when Ultra doesn't like somebody,
he doesn't like.
Jeez, man,
he shows no mercy.
Mercy. Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Well, how is Ultra a Cowboys fan? Now you can say the same for me, so I'm not dogging it, but he's a lot of New York, right? Yankees, Rangers. He said he was a Rangers fan.
Yeah.
So Ultra, what made you, and you said this before, but what made you a Cowboys fan? Is it family, or was it just you're younger and you kind of took to it?
While we're waiting for Ultra's response, so he had said the Yankees are playing, because to your point, Yankees are playing lights out. Juan Soto for New York City mayor. I agree with that. Yeah. So he's all about let's see, Doug. Luka 33, 10 and 9 on the year. He can eat what he wants, Ultra.
Yeah.
He's got a point, man.
No.
That is true. Give me 33, 10 and 9. Ultra's a Dak fan. Ultra's a Dak fan.
Oh, there you go. I knew is that how he became a fan?
That's it. Makes sense.
Is that what brought him to the Cowboys? I didn't know that. Maybe that's why he's so mad at him. He's making him look bad.
And Kelly's got a point that he's matching up against Kyrie Irving and not Luka.
Yeah. So at least now we understand the situation. Now that makes sense. Now you can't hate on him too much. I'd be upset if that was the reason I was a fan, and then that happens. But I was talking to, I saw on Twitter too, and I just want your opinion. And I think Kelly was the one who posted it. He was posting that he would take McCarthy over Sirianni at coach, right? The Eagles coach over McCarthy. So then some guy had said something derogatory to Kelly, which that's never a good thing to do on Twitter. Let me just warn you that. It's never good. He does, I don't really think he cares. See, unfortunately for me, I got I got to be careful. Maybe I shouldn't care as much. Maybe I need to be like Kelly and just tell everyone how I really feel. But I always get worried. Yeah. I'm the income provider of the household, and I don't want to get fired, something like that. So I always get a little skittish on things like that. But the point of it is the guy said that A-Rod got him that Super Bowl. And I always find that interesting because A-Rod has won Super Bowl his entire career. And he didn't win anything outside of McCarthy, right? And he's played a number of years without McCarthy. So you look at A-Rod, is his career, is he overrated? When you look at it, because you look at him I've always looked at him as one of the top quarterbacks all time, but he's only got one ring in all those years.
But Mike, it gets back to what we talked about, Dan Marino. I mean, come on. To me, it's a similar parallel. Aaron, he got his
but Aaron made it to Aaron had, he had a team and he played bad. I mean, I wish Ultra would 2 Canes. That's what Ultra Irvin. I can't believe Dan Sileo was your favorite Cane. I can't believe that. I know Dan Sileo. I mean, I liked him. I would have thought he would have said Jerome Brown or Highsmith or Ben or who was the other running back? God, I'm looking Melvin Bratton, like one of those guys. But that's interesting. It was Sileo. That's interesting. No. But anyway, so go back to your point, Jimmy. I mean, I know what you're saying, Dan Marino, but he's played some very bad games in the playoffs. I mean, he's had bad games in the playoffs, but he kind of gets a pass because, of course, he got one ring. But if you're at that level, do you need more rings to be considered at the top level?
He got the ring, man. We'll let's look at more modern. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. We win that Super Bowl, you guys are talking about him differently. And look at his stats all those years, right? Yeah. So, Kelly, Nick Sirianni has been terrible without great coordinators. When Siri had to run the offense, Philly stunk.
Well, and they ain't going to get much better. I mean, they got Kellen Moore there, so that shit ain't going to get much better. And he won MVPs, but does that make you great? I don't know. I mean, and I think Rodgers, I think you need each other. It's what I keep going back to. I think, you need a good coach. You need a good quarterback. You need good players around you. It's the argument that I got into with somebody who was a Giants fan on Game Time Brian's podcast that he does. He does great stuff. And he was basically saying that Troy Aikman, whatever. And I get this argument all the time. Emmitt Smith is only as good as his line. Troy Aikman was only as good as Emmitt because he had Emmitt Smith. Michael Irvin was only good because he had Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith. They were only good because they had it's always you're only good because they were only good because they had Jimmy Johnson. They were only good, at some point, maybe the guy you're talking about is pretty fucking good.
Man, you sound like Kelly now.
I know. I got to stop that.
I gotta
I apologize.
happen to have
When you talk,
people-
when I get aggravated with the Cowboys, my language comes out, and I do apologize to all the kind people that are tuning into the program. I apologize.
happen to have people in the comments, and I don't want to
know.
hear that
I
kind of
apologize.
language.
I
Jimmy
apologize.
D, no, Ultra.
No,
Jimmy D,
Steven, he did not carry the team. He did not carry the team.
and I just want to say
I'm
something.
an Emmett Smith guy. It was a team thing. It was a team thing. I'm not going to say one guy carried the team. Now, Emmett was pretty damn important. Don't get me wrong. Emmett Smith was very important to the team, but it was a team of accountability. They all held each other to a high standard of accountability, and that's the thing they always talk about. And I preach it, and I think that it's missing from this Cowboys team, to be honest. But it wasn't one guy. That's why I want to say, man, it was all of them collectively together that made them as great. They wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer without the other. It works like it was a yin and yang with all of them, but they were all great on their own merits too.
But I want to say one thing, because Ultra made a comment about Jimmy D being in a Dan Quinn straitjacket after the Super Bowl loss. No. It was a Kyle Shanahan straitjacket, because any offensive coordinator who knows what the hell they're doing is running the ball in the second half. I talked about this 2 weeks ago when somebody was screwing me in the comments. We just ran the ball that half instead of throwing. But then again, Dan Quinn, to your point, you said how he screwed up in the playoffs, and the most recent playoffs against Green Bay for Dallas. That's when you walk up and take over. Any buddy's been playing football or knows.
No, Dan Quinn's a big enough dude. I would have took it, just slapped him right across the back of the head and said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, so
that's on Dan Quinn. He hears the play calling. Ultimately, that's on him. I mean, that's why I would even say is Dan Quinn. You could argue now who would you take? All right, let's ask Kelly this. Who do you take over Sirianni? Let's think of a real shitty. Who is a real shitty coach? Would you take Chan Gailey?
Oh God,
Sirianni?
Chan Gailey. That's a name I haven't heard.
I know. That was the beginning of the dark days in Dallas.
Somebody in the comments earlier, and I can't find it, had mentioned, and then they're right, because remember, we always say the Eagles go out and take care of their business of free agency, whether they need guys or not. Watch them go out and sign Calais Campbell. That would piss me off even more. That
would aggravate me, because he's from the U. But I that's the one thing I'll say. I'll give Jason Garrett. Yeah. I'd take Garrett over Sirianni. I didn't hate Garrett as much until near the end. It just got old. Like the robotic. I hate the robotic kind of coach, and it just kind of wore on me. There you go. Dave Campo, he's a friend of the show, so I'm always going to defend him. He was given garbage. See that, Jimmy? I watched the language. Garbage. I mean, look at the quarterbacks that poor guy was given. He was supposed to have Troy Aikman, and Troy Aikman retired, got a concussion, and he retired. Emmitt Smith was, a shell of himself. I mean, he had absolutely nothing. But go look back at those defenses, those 5-11 teams. He's a defensive guy. Those defenses were always solid. They were always solid. It was the offense that was the problem. And he wasn't the offensive guy. He was never proclaimed to be the offensive guy. And they just never, you had no quarterback. You had a lot of journeyman type receivers. There were, as Dusty Rose said, those were hard times.
Hey, Ultra. Calais Campbell had, I think, 6 sacks last year. I'd take him at back.
He's solid, man. Yeah. He's a bit. He's still got a lot. He's still got some tread left on those tires, and he's a big dude. I watched the NFL Timeline Sunday, and they were showing the Rams, when they left LA.
Yeah.
And who the hell was what's his name? Come on. I see his face. Why am I now? I'm forgetting it. The lineman. He played left tackle for 20 years. Slater.
Dirty Dick Slater?
No, not Dirty Slater.
Yeah. I know you're talking about. Come on, somebody. Yeah. Somebody in the
John Slater? Was it John? It's Jay, right?
No,
John.
Somebody
Slater?
Help us out. I know you're talking about.
God damn it! I hate that's why I hate about getting old. But 20 years at left. Hall of Famer. Some of these guys, man, their body. I don't think Campbell took a lot of abuse. He's a big guy, so he gives a lot out. So I think he could play.
You know what? He was a tough guy, and wasn't he
was a
banging?
good wrestler. He was a good amateur wrestler,
but he didn't make a jump. He was banging Jesse though.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. Jesse
did.
Slater. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesse Slater. I thought he was talking about Jesse on the Saved by the Bell.
Is that what Jesse? I knew it was a J.
Yes, Jesse Slater.
Jesse Slater.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Did you know they said they nominated the worst sex scene in movie cinema history?
Oh boy.
Was the girl from Saved by the Bell, Jessie Spano. And remember that stupid movie? What the hell was it called?
Showtime or something like that.
Yeah, Showgirls.
Yeah,
the Showgirls.
She left Saved by the Bell for that.
No.
Yeah, she did, because that's when they had
afterwards. That was after.
No, she left, and that's when that other girl came in who was there for like one season. The girl with I forget her name, the one with the motorcycle jacket, like she's supposed to be a tough guy.
Jackie Slater. There it is, Jackie Slater. I was like, man, I don't remember Jackie Slater.
Ultra was close. Yeah. But yeah, she came in because what's her name left? I forget her real name. She left for the movie, and then they brought in somebody else to replace her.
Yeah, well, that was and it's funny they showed it on. It was one of those. It was one of those. They show like the clip of it.
Yeah,
and it was a terrible scene. It was terrible. It was in the pool. It just was. I mean, it was no. It was it was bad.
Was it worse than Fast Times at Ridgemont High when they're in the pool house? I gotta go. I gotta go.
$5 in a ride, huh? Is that what you want? The best is the pickup line. You know what his pickup line?
Yes, iced tea, right?
Yeah. You got some iced tea.
Iced tea.
Holy
crap!
I saw.
Oh, that's great.
I saw a picture of Phoebe. Was it Phoebe Cates?
Phoebe Cates, yes.
I tell you what, man, she still looks good. I can't believe she's been married to that Kevin Kline for so long.
Yeah, you know what I saw? It's funny. Sometimes you get the algorithms. I stumbled across that a few weeks ago on Facebook or whatever else. Phoebe cuts. Phoebe Kate. The best was when what's his name? Brad was in the bathroom, thinking about things. But he had the suit on, and when he was thinking about things, he had the suit on. And hey, doesn't anybody knock anymore?
Jesus. Damone's a little prick.
Yeah. No, Stacy, he's a little prick. Damone. You know, it's funny. Who was it? Ratner. So I'm watching like Police Academy 5 or there was like 80 of them. Ratner was in there with David Spade. It was actually pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, and it was actually a pretty good one. I think it was like number 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah, they had so many. Yeah, Spicoli.
Moving in stereo. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Spicoli.
I could fix it.
My old man.
Got a killer set of tools, man. I can fix it.
Television repairman.
Yeah, Wild Thing. Now, see, that is now. Wait, is Kelly saying that was one of the worst? Because Wild Things with it was Nev Campbell. It was Nev Campbell and Denise Richards. I mean, that scene, the pool scene. Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, it was Nev Campbell and wasn't it Nev Campbell? Naomi Campbell.
That I don't know.
I thought it was Nev Campbell. I could be wrong. Nev Campbell. I thought it was Nev Campbell and Denise Richards. Now that was probably one of the best. Best. Is he going to shit or is he going to kill us? Make up your mind.
No, the best is the idea they had to get rid of the evidence. Was it Lincoln?
Oh,
Lincoln and all this.
They don't make movies like that anymore. I was thinking, you think about like the best 80 movie. There, Fast Times, obviously Porky's, Just One of the Guys, Weird Science, all of this.
16 Candles, all that.
16 Candles. Parenthood. You know what I watched Sunday?
Can't Buy Me Love. What?
Can't Buy Me Love. You know what I watched Sunday? I was bored, so I was like, it was after the game. Three Amigos.
Great movie.
That was
great, underrated movie.
You don't want to die like dogs? if it ain't any way possible. Memories are real bullets. And
I'm trying to figure out what cut to say, and I don't know if I should put it on there. Jimmy Dee starred in Pork.
Did you? Were you meat or were you?
I was.
The boy's deformed. He died. He died a few months ago.
Because we're getting old. Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Fast Times. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know if I want to put it on there because I can't figure out what cut to. Or Ultra.
Would you say there's a plethora of pinatas?
There's a plethora. Private Resort.
I know Private Lessons. I don't remember Private Resort.
Private Resort. I think that might have been a Skinamax movie that.
I don't know that one.
One of those things. Yeah,
that might be on 596.
596, 597.
But like the three of me, I mean, just so many funny lines. It was so many.
You know, it's another one that Summer School with Mark Harmon. That's a great movie.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's one of my favorites too.
And then
that's one of my favorites.
And then what happens is you're ready to go to bed. You know me, unless it's the weekend when I'm plastered, I go to bed early. You know, tonight I'm at bed by 9:30, unless there's a game on. But then sometimes you get roped into a movie you've seen 86 times, and you end up staying late. It's like, son of a bitch. Now you stay up till 11:30. You know, Something About Mary. Yeah, but you see, that's fun. But Steven, you know, the one thing about that was funny movie, but that's like 90. That was more
90s, but it was good. I mean, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. There was a movie that Phoebe Cates was in. This was crazy, and I don't want to get in trouble for this, but but it was in a movie. She was in a movie. She was under 18, and she was in a movie. It was kind of similar to the Brooke Shields movie, A Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
But it was called something Island, and she's butt naked. And I'm talking butt naked, full front, everything.
Epstein Island.
I said, how the hell could you get away with that when they're under 18 years old?
Maybe it was Epstein Island. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Better Off Dead. Great movie.
Better Off Dead. $2.
Well, my $2.
I just watched Ferris Bueller. The best scene in Ferris Bueller is the sister when she kicks the
with the
that I laugh. That one in the Ferrari where the guys take the foot. Relax. Guys got nothing to worry
professional.
They drive the car over.
But the funny part about that one is when she says, so I call the police and they get me for making a phony phone call.
Hey, I just want to let you know the police are on the way. I have my dad's gun and a scorching case of herpes.
Wait a minute. Bachelor Party. Tom Hanks. One of the movies Tom Hanks don't want to talk about. No. Great movie with the donkey. Or the donkeys. See now, but you get some of these other ones. So Up the Creek, Happy Gilmore. Again, great movies, but that's kind of like that 90s vibe, right?
That was getting into that was the next generation. That was the next generation.
Steven, I don't know that one with Robin Williams.
I don't know that either. I have to look it up.
The donkey.
Oh, that's a Back to School. How do you forget that one?
Yes.
I didn't see a thing. You're perfect.
Caddyshack. I mean, just like you said, movies. They making movies like that.
What, do you get a free bowl of soup when you get this hat? Hey, this is my friend, Mr. Wang. No offense.
Holy shit, man. And again, you just, those movies are so.
Some of those movies, you can't make them because, like, that's a part that's kind of frustrating. It's like we all used to be able to joke with each other and make fun of each other and the stereotypes that, you know, they put on you, and it was all in fun. But now it's like you can't make any of those movies today.
Cuts and I were talking about this the other night about you just have fun if it's in good fun and nature. Who cares? The Jerk.
Jerks.
Yes. And there's some lines in there. Obviously, we can't say on this channel.
No.
Great movie, Steve Martin. But what about, so one that obviously we talked, I think last week we dropped the line in an Airplane, right?
Airplane, another great one.
1980, a little bit before the ones we're talking about, but probably one of the funniest comedies ever. And the guys who made that movie, they actually bought the script. It was a movie that was made in the 50s. They basically took the script of that movie and just, changed a few words, a few names, added some of the double entendres and stuff. And that's all they did. I mean, so think about it. They basically, and they bought the script, so they weren't like stealing. Stealing anything. Yeah. So
there was so many lines in there.
Stripes.
Start off with the basic fundamentals.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. So many good movies. But I mean, do people go to the movies? I mean, I sound like a boomer now, but I mean, do they have it's like, does anyone go to the movies anymore?
You know what it is? The last time I was in the movie, because I can't stop talking. Like I don't shut up. So we go to the movies. Remember the time we went to the movies and
you talked during the movie? Are you one of those?
No, well, I can't. That's the whole problem. I bring, I'll bring a brown bag to the movie. But remember the time we went to the movies to see, I think it was My Fellow Americans, and I spilled the beer bottle, went all the way down
roll down the whole way.
Roll down through everybody's seats. I always say, you know what, Kelly, great point. Married with Children, no, would not be on TV nowadays. No way. Nope. And Cuts, I can completely agree with you on that one.
But the thing is, you say it, but like, look at, it's not on network TV, but have you seen Ted, the series?
No, I mean, I saw the trail, not the trailer, but the.
Do yourself a favor.
No.
Do yourself a favor. When we get done, just put it on just watch 15 minutes of it.
All right.
Watch the first 15. You want to talk about an old school. I mean, it pretty much is going to offend everyone, but I don't know how they get away with it. Like in today's world, how they got away with it, but it was funny as hell.
But the crazy part, South Park's been doing that for decades.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Some stuff you can. Meatballs.
Yep.
Bill Murray.
Yep.
So anyway, we can go all day, Jimmy. We've been going an hour and 20 minutes.
We should have been talking about Al Bundy would love Luca. What was the high school? Polk
County.
That's right.
Isn't it Polk County? Because we have a Polk County in Florida. Yeah, but I know it's Polk High School. I don't know if it was Polk County or just Polk High School. But
Al Bundy would love Luca. He never body shamed anyone. Archie Bunker never. Look at the trilogy. It was Archie, Fred Sanford, and George Jefferson. I could sit and watch all day long, and it's funnier than hell. And
that's why I like. They're on the decade. Do you have the Decades channel?
Yes,
dude. They have all the old sitcoms on there, man. It's funny as hell.
No, it is Blues Brothers.
A lot of people say that Jimmy looks like Aykroyd.
You know what?
Your kids, we always said that Jimmy was Dan Aykroyd in Blues Brothers.
Well, the funny part is Trading Places on last night. Another really good one with Dan Aykroyd, and that came up with my wife. I said, "Remember they used to say I look like Dan Aykroyd?"
And you smell.
No, but you know what? They're offensive smelling. I mean, they smell bad. Right? Hey, guys. Soup is $120. Come on, I'll go buy a cup of coffee. We're putting the band back together. George Jefferson never offended anyone. That's right.
No. Well, we've been going for a while, man. We appreciate definitely everyone hanging with us. It's been a lot of fun. Make sure if you guys are still with us, especially if you're over on X or Twitter,
on X,
whatever the hell it is, man.
Twitter,
slide over to YouTube and hit
RedTube.
that subscribe, hit the like, show a little love. I'm seeing 120 plus people in here chilling with us, so we should be getting 120 likes. We should be getting 120 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, all that kind of stuff. So definitely appreciate it. But this is what we like to do, man. Sometimes it's tough. It's a tough sports time outside of basketball and hockey. So we definitely appreciate it. What did we miss, Jimmy?
Thank you, Doug. No, good show. Doug said good show. Great show. We appreciate it. Cuts, Camel Piper, Doug. We appreciate it. And Mike's right. You guys, and that's why, and I say it every week, and you guys, if you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing some of the funny stuff in the comments that we can't for certain reasons put on, or we just don't have time, or, there's just a lot of different things going on, right, that we can't. So yeah, you're better off coming over to YouTube. It's fun. It's a little more interactive.
Absolutely. And then Wednesday, we're going to have a special show Wednesday, not Thursday. Kelly's going on a little vacation. So we're going to do a live show on Wednesday Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. So hopefully that, that special night, you guys come in, hang out with us, man. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna be getting it, but definitely the tailgate party is set. Cowboys Cave second annual tailgate party is gonna be week 3 against the Ravens. So you guys, everybody's welcome, man. It's a big family, so we're gonna have a lot of fun. So make sure you guys definitely make it a point. Even if you don't go to the game, I learned that people who go to the tailgate, half of them don't even go to the game. They sit outside. Now we're going in the game, but if you want to hang out and man the tailgate, keep everything safe for us until we return, you're more than welcome to do that too. Whatever's left over from the food, hopefully not too much, but if there is some, you can keep an eye on it. And there have been some girls that are known to twerk for some of Cut's food. So he cooked some good stuff. So you're definitely you ain't gonna miss out, man.
And if you do stay outside, you got to make sure you keep everything safe and secure for Mike Tag and the rest of the crew. So when we come out there's no issues or shenanigans.
We don't want no vandals around.
We don't want to steal some. So SoCal, SoCal the other night, he told me that he really likes the way my backside looks. We'll just leave it at that. Said it right on Twitter.
Did he really?
Yes. So, yep. Section 420, it was like well, we'll figure it out. It's going to be a good time.
You work it through. You kind of, I gave you guys an opportunity. If we would have got to 5,000 subscribers, 2 people would have got seats in my seats. But
That's
now,
right.
late.
No,
now you got to wait.
We got to get this. That's right. No, we got to get this thing going. It's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to. Again, I wanted to do that and the Falcons game, but obviously we talked about it. I can't make it, but it's going to be a great time. So,
and I know people have done standing room only tickets and had a great time, and you can get the standing room only at a still a very, very reasonable price. So that's an option, and I think everyone kind of get together and figure it out, and we could sit. Maybe some people if they're standing room they can do it. If not, get a group together there, or if you got some seats, we'll get it figured out. Hopefully you're there.
Yes, exactly. Just get there, and we're going to make it happen.
Yeah. So, all right, man. Well, we'll be out of here. You guys take care. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, man. Show some support to the cave. We'll see you live Wednesday night, special night, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. You guys take care. Jimmy, we'll see you, brother. Good luck in the playoffs for your Rangers.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I